We're back with you for more of the action from the arena in San Juan. And the match between Ateneo, the second-ranked team, and the UP in last place. Speaking of, when you look at the numbers, it's not like I want to highlight them, but it just puts into perspective the struggles of UP this year in digging their second to last, in setting their last, in receiving, as you mentioned. They are last in there, in spiking, in blocking, they're second to last, and in serving also. So it's
pretty much across all the skills that we have here. Of course, you know, these are very young players, and I think one thing that also works for the other teams, tumaas din yung level of playing ng ibang teams natin.
Oh yes, that is a great point, and we tend to forget that sometimes, because UP has, you'd say, a group of talents that you can develop on right now. I mean, compared to, a lot of them are young, obviously, but compare it to, let's say, the last 2 years, and this is no disrespect to the players, but it seems like these are natural volleyball players that we are looking at, and in some of the years that we've seen, we have a few na parang converted setter,
players,
converted libero, converted spiker, di ba? Ito parang may mga natural silang posisyon. They're just being outgunned by the opposition, because the opposition like NU, FEU, and the upper tier teams have really jacked up their recruitment.
Of course, and apart from that, also more experience. That's what the other teams have.
And that's what UP is trying to gain this year, the experience to deal with these things. The good news for UP, though, they may be last in a lot of categories, but they're not last in terms of the record, because the UE Warriors are still beneath them, and if you're UP, you know that that's still possibly another win for you. You just have to keep playing against the upper tier teams like Ateneo right now, and really developing your game so that when you get to UE, you can secure a probable second win.
And that, of course, will be a different challenge again dito, no? Because I would suppose if I were UP, I would be a bit pressured as well, because you know that yun yung yun yung goal mo, to really beat UE the next time you meet them.
That's right. And finish the season with a couple of wins as Phil Kainglet is able to find a spot. Geyser has been cleaning the floor today here at the arena, trying really hard, working so hard for the UP Lady Maroons. And that's the one thing na hindi mo may aalis dito sa UP. You may have not been watching the games, let's say, and you look at their record in the team standings at 1-9 after their initial win, but you have not seen probably that they are trying their best out there. They're gutting it out, they're working, and Coach Jared is trying to squeeze as much from his talent that he can.
5 points in the match.
Sometimes we tend to overlook that part. Nakikita lang natin yung end result, which is the loss. But UP has been fighting.
Oh, but ito yung something that we mentioned earlier. One of the problems, one of the biggest problems of the UP.
Shakey's fast serve, brought to you by Shakey's Fun Family Pizza. That familiar jump serve of Z Herbacio, giving them a 13-4 lead.
Problem doon. Diba? Kuhanin mo na yung position natin, and then kapag nag-create naman tayo ng attack, wala tayong magagawa kung ano yung set sa atin ng setter. Okay? And responsibility ng spiker ngayon para gawa ng paraan at mag-adjust sa set na binigay. Diba? Gawin natin yung part natin, yun lang naman yung kailangan mangyari dyan eh. Okay? So mag-distribute kayo ng distance dyan. Pag-usapan ninyo kung pinagawa ng first ball. Ha? Let's go! Control lang tayo.
Salang!
It's got to be tough also if you're Coach Jaro Ubalde. I talked to him last year, remember asking him, specifically I go back to that conversation last year because I wanted to see what the plans were for UP, and he did say that there are a few talents coming in to season 75, and you're seeing them now. But they're so young.
So young. The talent is there, but it's something that still needs to be honed.
Called on the Lady Eagle.
And you look at them, they look so young too.
Even the build of the body, you'll see that it still needs development. Build some more mass and conditioning there. But Coach Jared, it's always so calm.
Yep.
When he, calls a timeout, parang hindi nagagalit, Bihira.
I think there's really no point in trying to
Quick attack.
demoralize your team by really pounding on them. I mean, because you have to be realistic in terms of some of the other teams that you go up against, the LaSalle's, the Ateneos, and the USTs, who are way above in terms of winning tradition, recruitment history, championships, of course. When you talk about FEU also in UST. So I'm sure Coach Giles is being realistic about how he approaches the game. As Ferrer tries to go back line there. Guys are again on the floor. Combination play. Kainglet getting the quick.
Kainglet wanted to try something new. Dalawa two attack attempts dug up by Geyser. This time from the middle.
They got a little bit confused because Gretchen Ho was also running to her familiar spot for the running attack.
Gretchen Ho.
For Ateneo naman, this is your chance to also experiment on some of the plays that you seem to cannot execute against, let's say, a tremendously great blocking team like LaSalle. This is your chance to play around. Not play around, but play around with your plays.
And experiment. And that's why earlier we mentioned some of the second stringers were also fielded in that last game they had against UP.
Kainglet is moving a little better today than she was against National University. She really still didn't look like she was 100% that last time out. And even the way Coach Roger was substituting her, diba? Pag bumabalik siya ng backline, pinapasok si Ella De Jesus to rest her. And she came back poetically in that last point against ADMU to give the match point. 15-7 for Ateneo. Valdez from the back line. Miscalculated by Magtalas.
Tip over error.
Which gives Ateneo a lead going into the second technical timeout, 16-7.